Now, my next guest became a worldwide phenomenon after this TV appearance on BBC News. Have a look.
The governments don't rule the world. Goldman Sachs rules the world. The market is toast. They know the stock market is finished. The euro, as far as they're concerned, they don't really care. I've been dreaming of this moment for 3 years. I have a confession, which is I go to bed every night. I dream of another recession. We don't really care that much how they're going to fix the economy, how they're going to fix the whole situation. Our job is to make money from it. In less than 12 months, my prediction is the savings of millions of people is going to vanish.
Jaws have collectively dropped at what you've just said.
So, is he the devil incarnate or the only man telling us the truth? Please welcome financial trader Alessio Rastani. You even look like a guy in a film, like who works in a law firm who sold his soul to the devil or something. So tell me, after all that happened, and of course there was uproar and everything, and it went all over the world, millions of people watching on YouTube and all that kind of thing. Right. It seemed to me that there was an attempt by various vested interests to kind of say, initially they said you were a hoaxer, and then they had pictures of your house saying, look, this guy lives in an ordinary semi-D and he's not who he says he is and all that. Your credentials, please.
Right. I've been trading the markets for 6 years. Started 10 years ago, but for 6 years. And what I do essentially is called posh gambling, which is gambling on the stock market. I don't gamble. I should just say it. I mean, I do it with you got to know what you're doing. But essentially, you trading off the charts and trading the market. And I've been doing it for 6 years.
So it's a science, you would claim, man.
Yeah, I'd say it's a science, a bit of art. Yeah.
Okay. So just to explain to people at home, you basically buy and sell anything, stocks, currencies, or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can bet on it going up, you can bet on it going down, and make money in any direction. But I focus mostly on the U.S. markets, the U.S. stock exchange. Right.
So, Alessio, the thing is that I guess in this country for the last 3 or 4 years, we have been undergoing a very painful process of austerity and everything. And a lot of it is supposed to be about pleasing this nebulous thing called the markets, okay?
Right.
And, of course, the markets you basically are the markets. The markets are made up of guys like you, am I right? And you did this, and it seemed like you became, for a lot of people, the human or inhuman face of these amoral things called the markets, which are actually destroying the world economy.
I wonder, if people had seen that video in full, there was a bit which I actually said, I want to help people. Mm-hmm. And I said that like twice. Why? Because, see, a lot of these financial guys who come on TV, they just talk crap, on and on. They don't say anything. And they hide the truth. They hide what's really going on. But I was trying to say, look, folks at home who are watching this, you too can make money from this downward market. It doesn't have to be just these guys in the city. I'm not a fat cat city trader, as I never said I was.
Yeah.
But these guys who are these fat cat city traders, they really don't want to talk about it. They don't want to tell people that there are ways that you too can benefit from making money when the markets go down.
Okay, but the thing is, I guess most of us here, because of the broader economy, jobs, everything else, we don't really want that to happen. We don't take that. What I would say is quite a detached view that you take, which is, well, look, like you dream of a recession, which is a fairly incendiary thing to say to, the millions of people who lose their jobs.
I think everyone should dream of a recession, and you know what? I think dream of a depression. And here's why. You got to ask yourself, what is a recession?
Okay.
A recession, in my view, is a transfer of wealth from people who are not prepared to people who are prepared. That's exactly what happened in the 30s depression. All right? Money doesn't disappear. Money just gets transferred from one kind of people to another kind of people. So that's why I said in that video, get prepared.
But in fairness, generally most ordinary lay people at home aren't prepared. So it ends up being guys like you.
Well, let me explain. Let me explain why a recession can be a good thing. Mm-hmm. Right?
I fully understand why it can be a good thing for you
for the
markets and for Goldman Sachs. But, the people at home who are losing their jobs, et cetera, et cetera.
Brendan, I read an article you wrote some years ago, and you mentioned that when property prices are coming down, it's a good time to buy. Right? You don't want to buy a property when prices are going skyrocketing through the roof, like in 2006.
I wish I had listened to myself.
Right, exactly, right? So when is it? So the question is, when is a good time? People sitting in the audience, people sitting at home watching this and saying, when do I buy a property? Do you want to buy it at like skyrocket prices? No, you want to buy it when it's cheaper. When do you find it cheaper? In a recession, in a depression, right?
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying go buy a property right now. Yeah, you can find bargains out there.
We don't need much encouragement in this country to go off again, so don't, for God's sake, encourage us for now.
But the point is, a recession creates an opportunity for people who do want to be able to make money, buy a property or stocks cheaper. Let's talk about stocks.
Okay. Now, one of your quotes in that thing: the market is toast, the stock market's finished, the euro, they don't really care. Is everything screwed? Yeah.
The market was toast last week. Now it says toast and buttered. Here's why. The smart money, I'm talking about the big funds, the hedge funds, the institutions. These guys are not buying. They're not convinced that there is a solution, put it this way. They're not convinced by it. They're dumping the stocks, right? That's what they're doing. If they were convinced something's going to happen, the market wouldn't be in a situation. It's volatile. So, yeah, what folks have seen right now, markets coming down and being volatile, is just the beginning. So my point here was this, guys. Look, the market is going to change and is already changing. If you don't change with it, and if we don't change with it collectively, we're going to sink with it. Okay. So when I say change with it, I mean our strategies have to change.
See, most of us don't have a strategy, unfortunately. So, if you could tell us in layman's terms 3 things that people should do. Now, we should make clear that this is not financial advice, and people should consult a professional and all the rest of it.
Okay, here's one thing. Here's one thing you should not do. Stocks are going to get cheaper and cheaper. Okay, because when this crisis is going to get worse, and it will get worse, stocks will get a lot cheaper. The biggest mistake people can make is they think, oh, it's a bargain, it's a sale. I'm going to go buy these stocks cheaper. The fact is, I made that mistake myself.
So stay away from the stock market. Yeah. Number two,
there are industries you can invest in that do go up in a recession. What industries go up in a recession? Well, when people get stressed in a recession, they smoke more, they drink more. Okay, so no, it's a true fact.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Look at tobacco. Look at tobacco markets, beverages. Look at discount stores. People go to discount stores like town shops, dollar stores, like that kind of stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Number 3, gold and silver. They're kind of weak right now, but I would be careful.
Well, like it's a temporary weakness, but I mean, overall, are they not
gold and silver
practically a bubble now?
Absolutely. Gold and silver have come down in price, but I think in the long term they have good prospects.
You reckon they're going to keep going?
If gold prices, right now is $1,600 an ounce. If they start to begin to rise, I would buy them because they probably will go to $2,000, eventually to $4,000.
Okay. Unless, of course, somebody decides. I mean, unpredictable things are happening all the time. Right. Unless they decide, well, actually, gold has no intrinsic value, and actually, we're not using it as a measure anymore. Right. I mean, you are gambling there as well. Listen, the other thing I want to ask you about is this contention you made, which I presume is on T-shirts by now, that governments don't run the world, Goldman Sachs runs the world. Now, we are all here, in our innocence, kind of relying on our government. We don't trust them 100%, but kind of relying on them to get us out of this. But you're saying that basically Goldman Sachs, who are a large part of what caused a lot of this in the first place, are the guys running the world, and they're part of these amoral markets we speak about.
Absolutely, yes. And it's not just me who says it. Professional traders out there, ex-Goldman Sachs employees have admitted about the power of Goldman Sachs over government. And in fact, what people may not know is that a lot of former Goldman Sachs employees have pervaded the government in the United States. Yeah. They work in the White House. So these guys have interests, cronies they're benefiting. Shall I give an example?
Yeah.
A guy called Henry Paulson, who was a former CEO of Goldman Sachs. He was the Treasury Secretary for George Bush. This guy was responsible for taking bailout money and then funneling it to all of his cronies at Goldman Sachs. The guys who work at Goldman Sachs.
Okay. But so basically the whole thing was a stitch-up, but largely by Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, I believe that.
Extraordinary. Yeah, actually there's an Irish guy is chairman of, I think, the local branch of Goldman Sachs, Peter Sutherland, who is here today telling us how they're going to save the country. Yeah, so that's good to hear. Listen, can I ask you finally, Alessio, before you go, would you be buying Ireland now? I mean, we've had a lot of good news here. Hang on. Enda Kenny said today we're going to be the first one out of the clutches of the IMF. The IMF are patting us on the head all the time, and people are saying things are going really well here. We had a bit of growth in the economy recently. Obviously, our exports are growing all the time and everything. You buying into the Irish story right now?
Here's what I will say.
It's not going to be
No,
good,
no, actually, no.
Okay.
Ireland will pull out of this recession. It's going to be tough. It's going to take time. But here's one thing I know. The Irish people are good people. Okay? And in fact, here's what I know. Ireland was built on a nation of entrepreneurs. Let's not forget this, guys. America was built by the Irish. Okay? So it will take time, but you guys will pull through. And I'm very optimistic about it.
Okay, time scale? Oh, God. Okay. Not in my lifetime or yours.
I don't have
well, listen, Alessio, it's been a disturbing but a very educational chat with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Alessio Rastani.